like you. Be strong to hold the powers of the sun. To dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Na Dior Pop. In the world of BTS, sometimes the smallest moments create the biggest reactions from fans. It's not always the performances, the music videos, or the concerts that make ARMY laugh the hardest. Often, it's those unexpected seconds when the members simply interact with each other naturally, without scripts, without planning, just pure friendship. And recently, one tiny moment between Jimin, V, and Jungkook became something fans couldn't stop talking about. It all started with something incredibly simple. Jimin casually reached out and touched Taehyung's shoulder, just a friendly gesture between close friends. Nothing dramatic, nothing unusual. But then the camera caught Jungkook's reaction, and suddenly, the internet had a new moment to laugh about. Because the look on Jungkook's face? Let's just say it looked suspiciously like jealousy, and fans absolutely lost it. Loudly crying face purple heart. What happened next had ARMY replaying the clip again and again, laughing at how such a small interaction could turn into one of the funniest BTS moments. And once you notice Jungkook's expression, it's almost impossible not to laugh along with everyone else. Small moments between the members of BTS have always been the kind of things that make fans smile the most. It's not always the huge performances, the record-breaking achievements, or the grand speeches that stay in ARMY's hearts. Sometimes, it's the tiny, spontaneous interactions that feel the most real. Those unscripted seconds when the members simply act like friends who have spent years growing up together. One particular moment recently made many fans burst into laughter. It was simple, almost unnoticeable at first. Jimin casually reached out and touched the shoulder of V while they were standing close together. The gesture itself was incredibly normal, something friends do all the time without thinking twice about it. But what made the moment unforgettable was the reaction of someone standing nearby. That someone was Jungkook. At first, Jungkook appeared relaxed, just like everyone else. The members were interacting naturally, chatting and moving around comfortably. But then the camera caught something interesting. As Jimin's hand rested on Taehyung's shoulder, Jungkook suddenly turned his head toward them. Not slowly, quickly. Almost like his attention had been instantly pulled toward that exact moment. His eyes followed the movement of Jimin's hand, and for a brief second, his expression changed. It was subtle but very noticeable for fans who have watched these members for years. Jungkook's face looked like he was processing something unexpected. There was curiosity. There was confusion. And most amusingly, there was what many fans jokingly described as a tiny spark of jealousy. Of course, no one actually believes Jungkook was seriously jealous. But the expression he made looked so dramatic for such a small interaction that fans couldn't stop laughing. He didn't say anything. He didn't interrupt. He just stared. And that stare seemed to say everything. Some fans joked that Jungkook's expression looked like someone who had just seen his best friend betray him in the most harmless way possible. Others said it looked like he was silently asking, "Wait, what's going on over there?" Meanwhile, Taehyung seemed completely unaware that a small comedic moment was unfolding beside him. He stayed relaxed, smiling casually and continuing whatever conversation he was having. To him, Jimin touching his shoulder probably felt like the most ordinary thing in the world. Because it was. The same could be said for Jimin. He looked completely comfortable and cheerful, talking and laughing naturally without paying attention to the reaction that was happening just a few steps away. And that contrast is exactly what made the moment so funny. Jimin was calm. Taehyung was calm. But Jungkook looked like he was quietly analyzing the situation. Some fans even pointed out that Jungkook slightly tilted his head, as if he was double-checking whether he had really seen what he thought he saw. It was the kind of reaction that happens so naturally that you can't fake it. It lasted only a few seconds. But those few seconds were enough. As soon as the clip appeared online, fans quickly began sharing it across social media. Within hours, ARMY everywhere were laughing and replaying the moment again and again. Many comments appeared almost instantly. Jungkook looked like he wanted to say something but held himself back. That expression is priceless. He looks like someone who just saw his seat get stolen. Memes started appearing too, using screenshots of Jungkook's face from that exact moment. For longtime fans, this kind of reaction from Jungkook isn't surprising at all. One thing people love about him is how expressive he is. His facial expressions often reveal exactly what he's thinking in the moment. When he's surprised, it's obvious. When he's amused, it's obvious. And when he's trying to act casual while secretly paying attention to something, that's usually when the funniest moments happen. The dynamic between Jimin and Jungkook has always been one of the most talked about friendships within BTS. Since their trainee days, they've shared countless playful interactions, teasing each other, laughing together, and occasionally showing small gestures of care that fans notice immediately. Because of that history, fans often pay attention to how Jungkook reacts when Jimin interacts closely with other members. Not because there's anything serious behind it, but because Jungkook's reactions can be unexpectedly hilarious. There have been many moments in the past where Jungkook seemed to keep an eye on Jimin from across the room. Sometimes he pretends not to notice anything, but then his eyes quietly drift in that direction again. And every time the camera captures those subtle reactions, fans find themselves entertained all over again. That's the beauty of BTS's chemistry. Nothing about their interactions feels forced. After spending more than a decade together, their bond has become incredibly natural. They know each other's personalities, habits, and moods so well that even the smallest gestures can turn into funny or heartwarming moments. This particular scene, Jimin casually touching Taehyung's shoulder while Jungkook watches with a curious expression, became another perfect example of that natural chemistry. There were no dramatic words, no planned jokes, just a simple interaction between friends. But for fans, it felt like watching a tiny comedy sketch unfold in real time. Moments like this remind ARMY why they love watching BTS beyond the music. Of course, their performances are powerful and inspiring, but the quiet moments between songs, the backstage interactions, and the spontaneous reactions are what make the members feel so relatable. In those moments, they don't look like global superstars. They look like friends. Friends who laugh together. Friends who tease each other. Friends who create unforgettable memories without even trying. And sometimes, all it takes is a small gesture, like a hand resting on someone's shoulder, and a perfectly timed reaction from Jungkook to make millions of fans laugh around the world. Because in the world of BTS, even the tiniest moment can turn into something iconic. A simple touch, a quick glance, and one hilarious expression from Jungkook that fans will probably replay for years to come.